Hello and welcome to Edupedia world. Let's now take a look at how we can use the plugin called Saber to do some pretty cool stuff, because as you can see you can create lightsabers and fire effects and stuff, and I'll just show you some examples of what we can do. So this is a quick example where I use it to like highlight a lens. So I don't know if you were making a video where you wanted to highlight something, then you could do it this way with a cool Saber effect that wraps around the lens. Like this. So I will show you right now how that can be done. So to do this effect, we want to start up by grabbing our footage and dragging it onto a new composition. So here we go. I'll just trim it to where I want my animation to be, and there we go. So we will pick the lens we want to add the effect to, and I've picked this lens because, well, that's the one I used before. So we want to track the motion, and we want to track rotation and scale as well. So these 2 points will have to be put somewhere on the lens. Need to put them somewhere that the tracker easily can see. So you can't just put it in the middle of this piece of glass, because there's no texture for it to hang on to. So this should do pretty fine. Let's just track forwards. And as we can see, the track went well, so this is nice. We will create a null object, call it data, because we're going to take all the tracking data from this layer and apply it to this null. So you can see now the null is following the lens, and it's rotating with it. We actually didn't need to track the scale, because the scale doesn't change, it's only the rotation and position. So I'll just disable that. Now we want to go on to the first frame and create a solid, and I'll call this outline. Then I will put the opacity to 0, and with the layer highlighted, I will press G and start drawing my mask. And as with any mask, I'm not too precise to start off with, and then I will go back in and refine it. So depending on the effect we're gonna use in the Saber menu, we can be more or less precise. So if we were to use like a big fire effect, then you probably wouldn't see if it was a bit off. But I'm gonna be precise anyways, so this should do it. I'll press V and deselect. Then I will show my layer again, set the opacity to 100, and then I will find my effect called Saber. And in here we want to customize the core, because right now we have a lightsaber, which is for doing lightsabers and stuff. That's actually what this plugin was meant to be. But we can also make it, instead of using the saber, we can make it follow a layer mask, and that's what we have, because on this layer we have a mask that was following the outline of the lens. So to make this blend on top of the video beneath, we need to set the blend mode to screen, like this. And here we actually have the outline. So as you can see, it doesn't follow the lens, and that's because we haven't parented this layer to the data. So we can set the parent to data, or just pick whip like this, and now the outline will follow the lens. So in my example, you can see I use this blue outline, and it's a preset that you can find up here. Where's this preset? And I use the one called fog, because it creates kind of diffused, pretty scattered, cool outline. You can also pick like energy or something, and yeah, let's try and use this for this example. So I want this effect to fade in, and the way you can do that is by changing the offset. So as you can see, when I change this offset, it like goes around the lens. And I can also change the start size. That's gonna make this end down here smaller and larger, and I can do the same for the end size. So I will put the start size to 0, and I will put the start offset to 100, and then I will put 2 keyframes, move a couple of frames, so let's say here, and then I'll put the start size, I'll keep the start size at 0, and then I'll put the start offset to 0 as well. And then around here I will put a keyframe for the start size, so I'll just press U and start size, put a keyframe, and then here I'll put the start size to 100. That way it will go around and join up nicely. So let's just try and preview this. And as you can see, this effect is pretty slow, and well, that is kind of obvious because of all the math that's going on, simulating fire and stuff. So if we just press 0 once again, we can see the end result. And to my eyes, this looks pretty nice. I think I will keep it this way, and then in the end of this clip just fade everything out to black. And a way we could do that is for each layer we could take the opacity and do like this. So do a keyframe where it was at 100, and then put it to 0. And this way the layer will fade out. But as you can see, we're gonna have to do that for every layer, and that could take some time. So another method is by making a layer on top of everything that I'll call fade, and we can just keyframe the opacity for this layer much easier. So I'll put it at 100% in the end, and then 0% where we want the fade to start. So this layer is on top of everything, and this whole time it is transparent. We could actually make it fade in here in the beginning as well. So set a keyframe and turn it up to 100, and then it will fade in. The effect will happen, and in the end it will start fading out, and the fire will fade with it, like this. So that's one way you can use this plugin. As you can see, there's a billion different options in here. If we start here in the beginning, this will we have the preset, and then we can change the color. So let's pick this blue color. We can change the glow intensity. We can change the spread and the bias. These all the bias chooses like how much that glows, and the core size. It's like the core is like this white stripe you can see in the middle. That's the core, and then the glow is the stuff here besides. You can change the flicker. You can make it flicker. Let's just try and turn up add a bit of flicker like this. And if we preview, then we should see it like change intensity, like flicker in intensity. So it can be a bit hard to see, but it's actually flickering right now. You can also change the distortion. So there's this distortion for the core, which is this white stripe in the middle, and then the glow, which is everything outside of that. So if we were to go into the glow, let's see, you can change the distortion amount. Just put this to like half resolution. So you can change how much the glow is being distorted. So this 10 was the default. We can also change it from being like a fluid to energy and smoke. That just makes it look a bit different. Then we can instead of having it set to distortion, then it will like distort it and moving all around. We can have it set to multiply, where it will, instead of distorting, it will actually change like the opacity and stuff. So then there's also the wind speed. So if we just crank this up, we can change the direction of where the wind is blowing. So if we start the animation from here, then we can see it's blowing kind of this direction to the right, and that can just help to make your animation look more realistic. And then there's this pretty cool option here in the bottom. It says lock noise to Saber. If we have this enabled and preview and take a look at how that looks, so the noise is like coming over the Saber. If we disable this and preview once again, and you see it's like the noise is coming from the Saber. So that's just an option that you can change if you want to. You can also change the scale. It's all very self-explaining. You can do almost everything. All the same stuff. You can do that for the core. So let's try and change the noise scale. Make it really small, and maybe turn up the intensity. And as you can see now, the core is all over the place. Just put it back down to, let's say, 15. I think that's good. So there's also some settings for the glow, and there are the glow here. It basically consists of 4 glows. You can see glow 1, 2, 3, and 4, and for each of those you can change the intensity and the size. So if we lower it a bit and increase the intensity, you can see you can really customize it all. So and then here in the bottom there's some basic what is it called, color controls. So you can like change the saturation, brightness, all that. So that was just a quick overview of the different settings that are available in this plugin. So next we will take a look at how we can create this Hunger Games logo using this effect. So stay tuned.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.